All right, things are gonna get exciting now. So now we figured out all of our supplies. We've added up our total amount that we're gonna spend on supplies and our food and drinks. So now let's focus down here for a second, okay? So what we just added up for our supplies and our drinks and food, this amount down here, this is your expenses, okay? So expenses are how much you are paying for the different things that that you have to buy in order to sell the product you're selling. So if I were making bracelets to sell, my expenses would be for the string and the beads and maybe a little clasp, right, to put on the bracelet. Everything I have to pay for myself to make those are my expenses, okay? So for drinks and food, your expenses are going to be the total amount that you spent on drinks and food. So go back to this page right here and figure out your total amount spent, and we're gonna write it right here. So let's say that I am spending $54 on drinks and food. And for the materials, so the supplies, I'm gonna spend $28, okay? We're not gonna worry about this column yet. This is our profit, all right? So first, make sure you have these two things. Make sure that you have how much you spent on drinks and food total and how much you spent on materials or supplies total, okay? So now let's come up here. We're going to have to figure out how much we spent all together on these two things, and that is my total money that I've spent, okay? So you're gonna take your expenses for drinks and food and materials and add them together. So I'm gonna add mine together back here. 54 plus 28. So I'm gonna add 4 plus 8. 4 ones plus 8 ones is 12 ones, which is 2 ones and 1 10. Regroup that 10 with my other 10s. And now I have 1 plus 5 plus 2. So that's a total of 8 10s, which is $82. So my total money that I spent was $82. All right. Now, we're going to talk about breaking even. So when you break even, you have to make at least this much money when you're selling your lemonade in order to pay back yourself basically for all of the money you spent on the materials, okay? So if you only make $20, well, you spent $82 on your lemonade stand, so you didn't make any extra money, and you also didn't end up paying yourself back for all of the stuff that you bought. So for us to break even so that we make back all the money that we spent, we have to make at least $82. So everything that we sell after we make $82 is a profit. So profit is like, you've already replaced all the money that you spent, and now this is the extra money that you get to put in your pocket. So this is the money that you're actually making after you deduct. So to deduct means to take away the price of all of your expenses, okay? So if our total expenses are $82, I'm gonna have to make more than $82 in order to make a profit, or the extra money after I pay for my expenses, okay? So we're gonna worry about this right here later. So we're gonna come back to that, but it's important that you know these vocabulary words, right? So an expense is something you have to pay for to make your items that you're selling. So we had to pay for drinks and food and materials that we're gonna use for our lemonade stand. To break even means to make at least the amount of money that you spent on your expenses. So if I made at least $82, then I broke even, meaning that it was an even amount that I spent and that I made. That's what it means to break even. Profit is everything that we make after we make our break even amount, okay? And to deduct means to take away. So we're gonna take away our expenses amount from the money that we're making in the lemonade stand so that we can figure out how much extra money is left, okay? And we can kind of see that right here. If we have a little part whole box, we have our total money made, right? So when you're at your lemonade stand, it's all the money that comes into you. Total money made. And you have your expenses that are part of that total. And then, so we know this, and we know our total money made after we finish our lemonade stand. This extra part is the profit, right? And we don't know that until we take the total that we made and take away the expenses, and the part that's left is our profit, okay? All right. So now, to make a profit, so we need to set a goal first. How much money would you like to raise for your fundraiser? So you're gonna set a goal. You don't wanna set a goal that's too crazy because you wanna make sure that you are being realistic, meaning that it's something that could actually happen. Is it a reachable goal, okay? So I'm gonna say I wanna raise $50. I wanna raise $50 for the Cook Children's Comfort Cart. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our goal to the expenses we have already had to pay. So if you go back to your balancing a budget list, this was the amount that you already had to pay for all of your expenses. And I'm gonna add that to my goal. Okay, so let's do that back here. We're gonna do the amount I paid for my expenses plus how much I wanna have for Cook Children's. So this would be my profit for Cook Children's, okay? So 2 plus 0 is 2, 8 plus 5 is 13. So I need to raise at least $132 in my lemonade stand, okay? So I need to raise at least $132, okay? So I added my expenses, which were $82, plus my goal, which was $50, okay? That's what you see where I'm filling in that information. Here's my total money for my expenses. Okay, you already figured that out over here. And my set goal is the amount that I want to raise for my fundraiser, I just decided. And so my total that I need is $132, okay? So is this a reachable goal? Do you think it's realistic to raise $132 at your lemonade stand? Or however much your number was. That's what you need to write right here. You would write in a complete sentence, yes, this is a reachable goal because blah, 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 blah. Or no, this is not a reachable goal because blah, 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 blah. Okay? So I've got my amount. I need to raise at least $132 selling my lemonade and my snacks in order to raise $50 for my charity. Okay? So now we're gonna figure out the price of a large and small lemonade. Pricing products correctly is really important, okay? It's key for a successful business. If you set your prices too low, you won't make much profit. If I only charge, 25 cents for a lemonade, I'm gonna have to sell a lot of cups of lemonade to get to $132, okay? But if I price it too high, I might not sell very much. People may drive by and think, they're selling lemonade for $20 a cup. That is ridiculous. I'm gonna go to another lemonade stand, right? So this is completely up to you of how much you want to do, but you need to have it be an even dollar amount. So you can't say like $2.50. We're going to have it be, an even dollar amount, like $2 or $3 or $5, okay? So I'm going to say my large lemonade is going to be $5 and my small lemonade is going to be $3, okay? So we're actually not going to answer this question down here. That is a little bit higher than the math that we are doing today. So we don't have to do that. But you do need to figure out your prices that you want to sell your large lemonades for and your small lemonades for. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys.